Let me tell you something uncomfortable right from the start. If you fell into a black hole, you wouldn't realize it immediately. There would be no pain, no chaos, no clear moment where everything suddenly ends. You would keep thinking exactly the way you are right now. And that's what makes it truly disturbing, because the universe would have already made a decision, and you wouldn't know it yet. You would breathe normally. Time would keep moving forward. Your thoughts would still be your own. Nothing would warn you that there is no longer a way back. Not because you're trapped, but because the very idea of going back has stopped existing. Black holes don't destroy you instantly. First, they let you believe that everything is fine. From a distance, a black hole doesn't look dangerous. It doesn't glow, it doesn't roar, it doesn't rush toward you. It has no claws, no warning signs, it simply exists. Silent, patient, almost as if it's waiting. And that's its greatest trick. We're used to danger announcing itself. We expect a clear moment where we can say, this is where everything went wrong. But with a black hole, that moment never comes. There's no cosmic siren, no clearly marked point of no return, no final signal, just continuity. In fact, if the sun suddenly vanished and was replaced by a black hole of the same mass, nothing would explode. The Earth wouldn't be swallowed. It wouldn't be flung into space. It would keep orbiting. Exactly the same as before. And that should be comforting, but it isn't. Because it means one thing. The universe doesn't always warn you when something becomes irreversible. As you get closer, you don't feel a sudden pull. There's no violent tug, no crushing pressure, no alarm going off, just silence. But something begins to feel wrong, very slowly. The stars no longer behave the way they should. They don't vanish. They don't explode. They simply bend. Light stops traveling in straight lines. It begins to curve, as if space itself is no longer rigid, as if it's a stretched fabric being pulled from an invisible point. And then something unsettling happens. You realize you're not falling through space. Space itself is falling with you. There's no force pushing you. It's worse than that. Reality itself is tilting in a single direction, and you're inside it. This is where everything breaks. For you, nothing feels out of place. You're breathing normally. You're thinking clearly. If you checked a watch, time would seem to move forward as usual. Every second unfolds the way it always has. But if someone were watching you from very far away, they would see something impossible. With every passing second, you would appear to move more slowly and slower. Not because you're slowing down, but because time itself is stretching around you, as if the universe is hesitating about letting you continue, until from the outside you appear to stop completely. Frozen, suspended at the edge of time. From that perspective, you never actually enter the black hole. You remain there forever. A motionless object in an endless fall. But you don't see that. You keep falling. And that's the paradox. For you, time doesn't break. It breaks for everything else. There's no visible line, no invisible wall, no special sensation. Nothing dramatic happens at the exact moment. And yet, something has changed forever. You've crossed the event horizon, the universe's final boundary. Beyond this point, what you do no longer matters. There is no path back. Not because you aren't fast enough, not because you lack strength, not because you made the wrong move, but because the concept of returning no longer exists. The universe doesn't allow that option anymore. From the outside, no one will ever know what happened to you. To everyone else, you simply disappeared. One moment you were there, the next, you weren't. And now, you are completely alone. Gravity no longer treats you as a single object. Every part of you begins to experience something different. Your feet, slightly closer to the center, are pulled far more strongly. Your head, just a little farther away, feels less gravity. That difference is enough. At first, you barely notice it, but second by second, your body begins to stretch. Not suddenly, Not violently at first, slowly, relentlessly, as if the universe is patiently pulling you apart, as if it has all the time in existence. This process is called spaghettification. You don't explode, you don't vanish right away. The human shape simply stops being possible. Bones, muscles, organs, everything loses meaning in a place where the rules no longer apply. And yet, your consciousness might remain active for a little longer, not because you survive, but because time itself is no longer behaving the way it should. Your thoughts don't shut off immediately. You're still you when you shouldn't be anymore, and that's the most unsettling part. There's no clear pain, no final instant, just a gradual loss of form, of reference, of identity, as if the universe isn't destroying you, but unmaking you. And then you reach the center, a place where language fails. There is no surface, no up or down, no direction, only a point. Infinitely small, infinitely dense, the singularity. Here, the laws of physics simply break down. Not because they're wrong, but because they were never designed to describe something like this. We don't know what happens here. Maybe you cease to exist. Maybe your information isn't destroyed, only transformed. Maybe every black hole is a doorway to another form of reality. Or maybe there is absolutely nothing. A black hole isn't terrifying because it destroys bodies. It's terrifying because it destroys certainty. It reminds us that the universe is not obligated to make sense to us, that there are limits we will never cross, questions that will never be answered. And yet, we keep looking at the sky. Maybe the real terror isn't falling into a black hole, but accepting that the universe was never meant to be understood.